Hi, my name is Patricia Watson. I want to tell you a little bit about how I came to Science of Mind. I grew up in Plainfield, New Jersey many years ago, and I grew up in a Baptist household. My grandfather was a deacon, my grandmother was a deaconess, my mother played the keyboard for Sunday school, and I was highly involved with the church. I ended up actually being a part of the choir, and so that was my roots in terms of growing up and Baptist music. As I grew older, my consciousness and my ideas and everything else shifted just a little bit, and so I wasn't getting as filled as I used to, and so I started exploring. But for a while, I just went on my own path in a different direction. And one day I got a call from a dear friend of mine who is now a minister, Reverend Ruth Littlejohn, and she mentioned that she was going to a church in Philadelphia called Psalm Place. And so she invited me to the Spiritual Center for what was called their Friendship Sunday. Well, I balked and said no for a little while, and then one day I finally decided that it might be a great idea to try it out. I walked into the center, and from that moment on, I knew that I had found my home. Since that period of time, we have moved to Nova Scotia. That was 17 years ago. In that period, what I have actually gotten involved in is I've decided that I needed to actually stay connected because all of a sudden I didn't have my spiritual community anymore. So what I did was I started looking at ways to actually start studying again and found the Science of Mind online classes. And so I started with foundations and went through and actually ended up in 2004 becoming one of the first online practitioners. Now the interesting thing is also being here in Nova Scotia, one of the things I did also was to start a study group so that we could continue studying spiritual principles, being connected to spirit, and knowing that we are all one with that magnificent presence. But being a remote practitioner also meant that I could get engaged in other kinds of things as well. And so what I started doing was being involved with my church, which was down in Philadelphia at the time, which was run by Reverend Sheila Pierce, and I was a practitioner, a remote practitioner, and so I would connect in via meetings. I would do all kinds of things to stay engaged, do visioning, etc. And since that period of time, we also spend our winters in Arizona, and as a result of that, I am now engaged with the center there, Sonoran Desert Center for Spiritual Living, and there I am a remote practitioner. I would do all kinds of things in terms of helping them with their strategic plan. I'm on the music team. That's my baby. I love music. And I'm also engaged with what's called AHA Education, which is a special focus online ministry. And I'm involved with the Global Core. And the Global Core basically works with ministries and study groups and teaching chapters all over the world. And so my life has been enriched by all of the things that I have gotten engaged in. And one of the things I love the most is going to different centers, different spiritual centers, and speaking and singing. So it all started with Friendship Sunday. And I highly recommend that you try and experience what Friendship Sunday is. So we invite you to come to the Hampton Roads Center for Spiritual Living, and that is located in Virginia Beach. And if you can get in touch with Reverend Ruth Littlejohn, and the number there is 757-385-0150, or you can go and just go to www.hamptonroadscsl.org. All I know is that my involvement with Science of Mind with the spiritual principles, with this amazing spiritual community, has totally enriched my life. And I am so, so eternally grateful for everything that has transpired over this period of time. I have many blessings and much love. Bye for now.